Thank you very much. I'm calling to order a code enforcement hearing of the City of Cape Canaveral, Florida. Today's date is July 27, 2021. My name is Richard Geller, and I am Special Magistrate appointed by the City Council to hear code enforcement cases pursuant to Article 6 of the City Code and Florida Statutes, Chapter 162. There are two matters on the agenda this evening. Both are quasi-judicial proceedings. In both instances, the burden of proof will be on the city to establish by a preponderance of the evidence that a code violation exists or continues to exist. In other words, I will determine based on the evidence presented to me this evening whether it is more likely than not that a violation has occurred or is continuing to occur. The alleged violator will have an opportunity to submit a rebuttal or exculpatory evidence, including testimony. In my discretion, I may allow a member of the public with relevant personal knowledge to testify, even if not called by either the city or the responding party. Anyone who would like to testify should sign the sign-in sheet where I'm indicating. Upon request, the alleged violator may ask relevant and material questions of any city witness, and the city may ask relevant and material questions of any witnesses for the responding party. I may exclude evidence that I deem irrelevant, immaterial, or repetitious. In determining the amount of any fine, I'm required to consider the gravity of the violation, any actions taken to correct the violation, and any previous violations committed by the violator. Under the City Code and Florida statutes, I may assess an order payment of a fine of up to $250 per day for a first violation and up to $500 per day for a repeat violation, or in the very rare instance where a violation is irreparable or irreversible, a fine of up to $5,000, as well as the cost of any repairs the city may make. At the conclusion of the hearing, I will issue findings of fact and conclusions of law based on the evidence in the record, as well as an order, both here and also in writing. The city will record a certified copy of any order which imposes a fine, which would then become a lien against the land where the violation occurs, as well as any other real or personal property owned by the violator. Any order that I issue may be appealed by any party to the circuit court. For Brevard County, within 30 days, it is the responsibility of the party making the appeal to obtain a record of these proceedings. An appeal is limited to the record presented before me. I have approved the minutes for June 22nd, 2021. They've been given to the recording secretary. The next meeting will be held on September 28th, 2021. There will be no special magistrates hearing held during the month of August. So the first matter on the agenda is case number 2021-082. The property owner is shown as Donna McAllister Poots. And before I proceed with that, just for to be expeditious about this, could I have anyone who will be giving testimony tonight to stand up and be sworn in? Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? I do. Thank you very much. The city ready to proceed?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
First hearing is mass.
Okay. This is case 81. I think I just called case 82. Do we want to go ahead and do case 81 first?
Yes, sir. This is a massive hearing, and we have the respondents here.
Okay. In that case, let's go ahead and let's go with case number 2021-81. And that showed the property owner to be French Lanham, Lanham. Thank you. can proceed whenever you're ready.
Yes, sir. Again, it's case number EN 21-081, French Lanham.
Let's
I don't know what that is.
let's fix the technical issues. We need to turn down these microphones, I would think.
It's turned down as far as.
It is turned down? Okay. If I move the microphone away from,
That's what I'm doing still.
Try now, John.
How's this? Is it
I hear you okay?
better? Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you hear okay, Mr. Lanham?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay.
I wonder what all that static is, though.
All right, take two. Go ahead.
Okay,
If you could just introduce yourself for the record.
Okay.
I know who you are.
Again, case number EN 21-081, French Lanham. The screen here shows the address, legal information, parcel ID, and a violation plus for property maintenance. Section 108.1.1, unsafe structures. Section 108.1.5, 6 and 8, dangerous structures. Section 304.1.1, subsection 12, unsafe conditions. Section 304.10, stairways, decks, porches, and balconies. Section 304.12, handrails and guards of the International Property Maintenance Code.
And before you move on, could you just state your name and position for the record so we have a
Yes,
clean
John-
record?
John Mayberry, Code Enforcement Officer. City
Thank you,
of
Barry.
Canton.
Thank you, Mr. Mayberry.
This is the actual account page verifying the information that we presented to Your Honor tonight, that with the exemptions, so we are clear on that as far as what exemptions are, the actual land description, subdivision name, and other information pertains to it.
So when referring to exemptions, this is indicating that this is not homestead?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right.
Notification summary, the findings of fact, conclusions of law and order. On July 1st, 2021, they were sent via certified mail. Return receipt was received on July 2nd, 2021 to French Lanham. The notice of Massey hearing was mailed on July 14th, 2021 via certified mail. Return receipt requested to French Lanham. And on 7/16/21, the property was posted in accordance with Florida Statute 162.12 notices to French Lanham.
So the posting then was 2 days of the Massey hearing, today's hearing, 2 days after it was sent via certified mail?
Yes, sir.
I got it. Okay.
And this again is the Brevard County overhead aerial picture of the property.
So this is a
The townhouse.
the townhouse. So
Yes,
this
sir.
is the unit on the end of the townhouse that we're dealing with.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And just recalling from the hearing last month, or in June 22nd, there was an elevated deck area.
Yes, sir.
And is that what we're looking at over from above?
It's there, you can't actually see it from this angle, but yes, sir, it's there on the back side of the property, just under the eave of the townhouse there.
So would it be to underneath or
Yes,
to the
sir,
right?
underneath.
Okay, underneath.
Underneath, yes, sir.
Okay.
You know, if you can actually see the gray area right behind it, the back of the, that's it.
You can see it better with the picture. I went back this morning and took a,
Okay. All right.
staff. Do we need to go back, sir?
Oh, no, we're good. We're good. I'm looking at your next slide here.
Okay, 6/22/21, case was presented to the magistrate who issued findings of fact, conclusions of law and order, wherein the respondent was given until July 19th, 2021 to bring the property into compliance or Massey hearing would be scheduled. 7/27/21 today, staff conducted a site visit and observed the property is still in violation.
All right.
And this is the picture taken this morning.
So the deck area that the city is concerned about is to the right of the, looks like wood planks on the On the
Yes,
house?
sir.
The townhouse, all right?
Yes, sir.
Right?
This is the photograph of the posting for the notice of hearing.
Okay.
And then Mr. Lanham is here.
All right. Mr. Landon, would you care to come up? And if you would just state your name and address for the record, please.
Yes, sir. It's French Lanham, 7750 Ridgewood Avenue, Cape Canaveral.
Is that the address of this property?
It is, yes.
Okay. And do you reside there?
I reside at the property, yes, that's
Okay.
correct.
All right.
So, yes, I've owned this property for quite some, well, I take it back. I was in partner ownership of this. It was a rental property. I bought out my business partner and recently moved into the property full-time. I just sold my house that was in Mims. And so I've been doing some remodeling since
Okay.
then. So I'm not disputing that I'm in violation. I guess I'm asking for a little leniency, let you know where I'm at in the process.
Okay.
I am just started a new business in Orlando. I'm working 60 to 80 hours a week. I leave my house every morning at 6 o'clock. If I get home at 7 o'clock, I'm lucky in the evening. So I'm working this the best I can at the time frame that I have available. So as of today, the handrails, I've submitted all the paperwork. The handrails are built. I understand that I need sealed engineer drawings, so that's going to take me a little extra time. I can submit, this is the, I can give that to you, that's the drawings that the manufacturers made for me.
Did you want to get them?
Sure. They just got through powder coating yesterday, aluminum handrails, built to spec for my project. They should be picked up tomorrow. I think they'll be delivered tomorrow, and should be installed within a week from that time frame. I did not know when I dismantled, put the decking down, that this would be a violation. I apologize, looking at the amount of effort that you guys have to put in on this is a little embarrassing, but at the time did not realize that that was would be a violation, and now it's just taking me some time to get that done. I do live at the house alone. The door is blocked. There's a bar for safety reasons. Nobody can go out there unless I go remove the bar. I have grandkids that come over to go to the beach, so that area is blocked off so nobody can get out there for safety reasons.
Oh, okay. That's important to me. Could you describe how you've blocked off that door?
Well, it's a sliding glass door. It basically just has a bar that's between the door, like you would a safety bar, security
Okay.
bar that's wedged in. So the kids can't just go open the door,
Okay.
so it's locked with a bar. It's
And-
not major.
How old are these kids, your grandkids?
The oldest one is 12.
And how about the others?
They're 10, they're 3, 10, and 12.
Okay.
The ones that live locally that come over on a regular.
Okay, so the one we're concerned about really is the 3-year-old, because I would assume that the 10 and 12-year-old would be old enough to perceive the danger of
Absolutely.
going out. So it's really the 3-year-old. And do you see the 3-year-old coming over in the next week or however long it's going to take you to get this installation completed?
There is a possibility. So there's another measure for the 3-year-old. That was
Okay.
the 3-year-olds at the bottom of the stairs. They go up. There's a gate that is locked.
Okay.
So that he can't go up there. The 10 or 12-year-old can open that up. He could not get through that gate. It's got a lock on it that's complicated to open.
Okay.
So there's multiple things in place to keep it safe.
Okay. And have you said anything to the 10 and 12-year-old about avoiding that area, or?
Yeah, absolutely. Sure, they're not allowed up there. They know they're not.
Okay.
Their father's the one that's helping me get the railing and get the project.
Okay, and is the door that leads out to the deck area, goes to a room that can be closed off, or not really?
Only by the gate, really, at the bottom.
Okay.
There's a sliding door, but I don't even know that door locks. To be honest
Okay,
with you.
okay. So at this point, and just may the record reflect that I've received drawings from ARRETT, A-R-R-E-T-T, Custom Design and Fabrication, indicating rails and So these, you're saying these have been fabricated, correct?
They are fabricated, they went to powder coat, and they are finished powder coating, they just need to be picked up and delivered to me.
Okay. And have you submitted any application yet to the city?
I have today. I did.
Today, okay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Any, have you ever been cited for a code violation before?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I'll think back if there was anything ever.
Okay, okay.
I don't believe so.
Okay. Right. And then assuming that the city approves the permit expeditiously, you estimated the installation could occur within a week?
Yes.
Okay. Is the company, this Eric Custom Design, are they doing the installation, or do you have a separate
I'm
installer?
going to do the installation along with my son. He's
Okay.
a contractor, he's an electrical contractor, but he's very capable. And
Okay.
so we're going to, he had the railing built for me.
Okay.
Through this, the gentleman that's a friend of his that does the fabrication.
Okay.
And was actually a Father's Day present.
Okay. And I think there was a requirement that the plan be sealed by an engineer?
Yes, I just found that out today. I mean, I should say, they sent me all that documentation. I didn't realize till I was filing the permit today. I didn't read it thoroughly, that that was a requirement. So I will get that done tomorrow. Well, I will find out how to get that done tomorrow. If it takes me 2 or 3 days, I don't know. But to find somebody to seal that. I don't know if the guy that does the fabrication can do that himself. So.
Okay, but I assume you're going to reach out to the fabricator to see if they're able to get.
So he builds railings for all these condos, so I had my son contacted him today. I haven't heard back from him to say who does the engineering. Obviously, they all have to be signed off.
Correct.
So he's finding out who does that for him, and I may have to just go pay somebody to look at it, sign it off, and seal it.
Okay, all right,
But it'll be taken care of in very short order.
okay. All right, thank you. If I could hear from Mr. Mayberry, excuse me, Mr. Mayberry again, tripping over my own words. Can you confirm that Mr. Lanham is not someone who has been before the city with other code violations and?
Correct. Actually, there were several projects done, as he referred to, he and his partner, prior to him buying his partner out. So they've done business with the city. And as far as I show, this is the first time, unless it was done years ago.
Okay.
before the new system, but I've been here over 2 years, and no, sir.
Okay, all right. And what is your best estimate, assuming he can get an engineer to sign off on this in the next few days? So this week.
He has an electronic account set up with the city now, so that's in the conveyance of getting everything into us. As far as I know from speaking with the permit technician today, the sealed engineer plans are that's the holdup.
Okay.
Everything else appears to be in order.
Okay.
Waiting on that. As soon as they get that, then the
Okay.
building official take a look at it, and
It could be done within a day of it being submitted, generally?
would you think so?
I believe so. And since he does have it in, the city's willing to stipulate to give him extra next week,
Okay.
per se, to actually obtain the permit.
All right. So with that said, is it then the city's recommendation that we not assess a fine because Mr. Lanham is taking good faith efforts to get this done as expeditiously as possible?
Yes, sir, our original recommendation was going to be to lien the property. Since he has come in today and has submitted the application and we're waiting on the sealed drawings, the city is willing to stipulate that we push that until next week and give him until next week to actually obtain the permit.
Okay. So what day next week is reasonable? Because today's Tuesday,
We'll give him till Friday of next week.
so Friday of next week to submit a full application, which will include the sealed engineering plans. And then how long after the approval of the plans would the city find to be a reasonable amount of time for Mr. Lanham then to have a contractor? Well, actually, he's going to do it with his son. So, and of course, he's working really hard from what he's testified. What would be a reasonable amount of time after the approval of the plans to get this done?
I believe all we're waiting on is the sealed plans, and then it would be approved, and the permit would be issued at that time. So as soon as we can get the sealed plans in, if anything falls on the city, then we're willing to make extra accommodations for that. As long as we have all the information in by the end of next week, we should be able to push the permit.
Right, I
now.
guess my question is, what the city would recommend is a reasonable amount of time for Mr. Lanham to, once he has the permit in hand, to actually get the job built with, Mr. Lanham testified he's going to do it with his son. What's a reasonable amount of time to give him to actually get the rails installed?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Is that
sir.
10 days after that?
Per the Florida Building Code, we have to give them 6 months on every permit.
Okay, but but my order is, I already ordered he have it done as of, July 19th or whatever the date was. And so I'm going to, my inclination here is to accept the city's recommendation, hold off on imposing a fine, so long as he gets this full application done by Friday of next week, plus gets the guardrails installed within a certain amount of time thereafter. And what I'm trying to find from the city is, what do you think is a reasonable amount of time to give him?
10 days, but
10
once
days.
he has the permit, and Your Honor, as I understand it, you could move the cure date from July 19th to the 10-day mark, and if it's not in compliance by that date.
Okay, so what would 10 days from Friday of next week be, if you have your calendar handy?
The 16th, August 16th,
August 16th. And what day of the week is that?
that's a
That's a
Monday.
On Monday, the 16th. Okay. Now I'm going to ask Mr. Lanham, if you wouldn't mind coming back up and responding to the deadlines that I'm proposing to put in my order, that you get those sealed engineering plans in by Friday of next week, and then you have 10 days after that to get the cure done. Does that sound reasonable to you?
That's absolutely fair.
Okay.
And if I can say that everybody has been over backwards and been very helpful that I've called and talked to within the city, so I appreciate that. Even when I can't get a hold of John, one of the other guys will answer my questions.
Okay.
Dan has been amazing, so everybody's
Okay.
been over backwards. I just want to say that.
All right, and so, so the order is going to find you in violation. It's going to assess, because of the potential danger, it's going to assess a fine of $250 per day from the prior cure date, which I think was July 19th. However, that fine is going to be suspended, assuming that you get those sealed engineering plans in by Friday of next week, and then within 10 days after that, you get the guardrails up and the cure is complete. And then at that point, it would be, assuming that you get it done, and you seem very earnest in getting it done, that the fine will be completely suspended. You'll never have to worry about it.
Wonderful. Thank you so
Okay?
much. I appreciate it. Very fair.
All right. Very good. Anything else on this matter?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, Mr. Lanham, thank you. You're excused.
So much. Appreciate it.
Uh-huh. All right. So the next case is EN 21-82, Donna McAllister Poots.
Yes, sir.
You may proceed, Mr. Mayberry.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Slide is case number EN 21-082, Donna McAllister Poots, 516 Jefferson Avenue, Cape Canaveral. She contains the legal information, parcel ID, and the violation is for property maintenance, section 101.1.1, unsafe structures. Section 108.1.5, subsection 6, and subsection 8, dangerous structure. Section 304.1.1, subsection 12, unsafe conditions. Section 304.10, stairways, decks, porches, and balconies. Section 304.12, handrails and guards of the International Property Maintenance Code.
And just if you would, again, I know who you are, Mr. Mayberry, but if you would just.
Yes, sir. John Mayberry, Code Enforcement Officer for the City of Cape Canaveral.
Thank you very much. I just ask you that because in case it gets appealed, then
Exactly.
your name is there. Thank you.
Again, this is the property appraiser's count sheet with the exemption information.
And again, this does not appear to be homestead, correct?
Correct.
All right.
Notification summary, July 14th, 2021, via certified mail. Return receipt requested to Don McAllister Coots. Posted on the property on May 4th, I'm sorry, Your Honor, that's a typo. That's a typo. That
Yes,
property-
I think that was in my recollection of looking at the paperwork.
Yes, sir.
And it's not real fresh on me, but I have, not only was it posted on May the 4th, but that's when you would have sent the notice of violation via certified mail on the
Yes,
same
sir,
day.
on the same day, yes, sir.
May 4th, 2021. Okay.
The notice of hearing was mailed on July 14th, 2021, via certified mail, return requested, which we received on July 19th, 2021, Don McAllister Coots.
So on 7/14/21, and so there was a return receipt received on 7/19/21. All right.
The overhead aerial view, again, it's a townhouse,
Okay.
and this time the exposed deck is facing the Jefferson Avenue from the street front there. There's the driveway, and then you go right into the deck in the front of the,
And I'm trying to picture where the deck is here. Is that bounded by the white lines, or whereabouts is that?
if you look to the property to your right, just to the right of the
The red.
highlighted sections there in red, that you can see the decking there on that townhouse.
Well, within the red, hold on a
Right.
second. So we have the main structure,
Right.
and so then there appears to be another roof-like, seems detached in a way, towards Jefferson. Is that the driveway,
No, sir,
or is that the deck?
That's a weird angle. You
Uh-huh.
can see it a lot better in the photograph.
Okay, I'll let you get there.
Okay. Staff report on July 22nd, 2021. The case was presented to the magistrate, who continued this case until the July 27th hearing.
Okay.
July 27th, 21, staff conducted a site visit and observed the property remains in violation. This is it today.
Here we go.
Yes, sir.
Now, the red bounded line in the overhead appeared to be the unit on the left. And so the unit on the right has the guardrails.
Yes, sir.
It's the unit on the left that does not have the guardrails,
Right.
and that's the issue, correct?
Right, yes, sir.
Okay.
So, I know you don't remember from the last time, but this has been painted within 2 days. So, the owner of 516 Jefferson, Ms. Poots, she's deceased. Her sons live in New York, and they're young, and they're learning as they go about probate and taking care of everything.
Uh-huh.
Been very good to work with. They're learning as they go, as I said. The neighbors next door are, the lady is a real estate agent. She's trying to help them navigate all this, what they need to do.
Is anyone living
No, sir.
in this unit?
No, sir.
Okay. So,
And they're doing renovations. They just had, all this was permitted. They just had, but they've gone in together, both units. They've re-roofed the entire place. They painted it together. And now the last thing to do is the deck rails.
and so has an application for a permit been submitted to the
Yes,
city
sir.
for these rails?
Actually, the holdup right now is not with the owners. It's with the contractor.
Okay.
We found out after they made the application for permits that even though their name says fence and railing, they're not actually, I believe it's a residential contractor, so they can't perform railing work here in Cape Canaveral.
I see.
So
You need to be-
they're in the process now of trying to get that corrected.
So let me make sure I'm understanding this. So because they're only a residential contractor, not a commercial contractor?
No, sir, they are a commercial contractor.
Oh, but they're not a residential
Yes,
contractor.
sir.
And so that's what the holdup is. They cannot
As
perform.
I understand it, they have to make application with the county to get that, achieve that status, to be recognized by the county, and then they'll be
Okay.
recognized by the city.
All right.
So everybody's working, it's,
Okay. Do you know when the permit was submitted?
I know off the top of my head, sir.
Okay. Was it in, so it was obviously after the notice of violation was
Oh, yes, sir.
received by them, so
Yes,
they,
sir. It was last week, I believe the beginning of last week, I don't remember exactly which day, but it's not been that long.
okay. All right. I'll let you continue.
Okay. And this is the posting for the, hearing today. There's no one here for property representative.
And then, and what day was the notice of hearing posted?
Let's see, July 16th.
All right.
So other than staff recommendation,
Okay, well, you know, I will, so we're, the recommendation is to give them until September the 16th to get this
yes, sir.
done?
And I believe it's gonna be done much sooner than that. Like I said, it's a question of the contractor.
Okay. And because no one is living there, the chance of a 3-year-old kid like the last case, you know,
Right.
getting in danger is substantially less, so,
Right.
okay. All right. I'm ready to roll on this.
Okay.
Okay. So I find that the respondent, Donna McAllister Poots, is deceased, however, is shown to be the owner of the subject property. That appears that Ms. Poots' estate is in probate, that she has a son residing in New York who is handling renovations to this property. That the son is being cooperative with the city and is working with the neighbor who's a realtor in improving this, the subject property. Find that the city sent a notice of violation to the respondent, which was duly, we did not receive a return receipt. This is from the original notice of violation on May the 4th. However, also on May the 4th, 2021, the city posted the notice of violation at the subject property itself and at City Hall. And that the notice of hearing for this hearing was sent on July 14th, 2021. And it was posted on the subject property and here at City Hall on July 16th, 2021. I find that all the notices required by the city were duly met. I find that there is no railing or guard to prevent a person from falling from the upper deck. I find that this is a violation of various provisions of the city code, which has adopted the International Property Maintenance Code, and I'm going to refer to that code as the IPMC. Section 101.2 of the IPMC states that the code applies to all residential structures to provide for a reasonable level of safety from hazards I find that the subject property is in violation. Section 108.1.1, unsafe structures, which states that an unsafe structure is one found to be dangerous to the life, health, property, or safety of the public or occupants of the structure by not providing minimum safeguards. I find a violation also of section 108.1.5 of the Ipmc, dangerous structure of premises, in which states that for purposes of this code, any structure or premises that has any or all the conditions or defects described as follows shall be considered dangerous. The building or structure, any portion thereof, is clearly unsafe for its use and occupancy. The building or structure has been constructed, exists, or is maintained in violation of any specific requirements or prohibition applicable to such building or structure as provided by the approved building code, or of any law or ordinance to such an extent as to present a substantial risk of threat to life and safety. Find a violation of section 304.1.1 of the Ipmc, which states that the following conditions shall be determined as unsafe and shall be repaired or replaced to comply with the International Building Code, or the International existing building code is required by existing buildings, exterior stairs, decks, porches, balconies, and all similar appurtenances attached thereto, including guards and handrails, are not structurally sound, not properly anchored, or not anchored with connections capable of supporting all nominal loads and resisting all load effects. Clearly that is what we have here, where we have the absence of guards and handrails. Find a violation of section 304.10 of the Ipmc, which pertains to stairways, decks, porches, and balconies, stating that every exterior stairway, deck, porch, and balcony and all appurtenances attached thereto shall be maintained structurally sound, in good repair, with proper anchorage, and capable of supporting the imposed loads. I'm going to find a violation of section 304.12 of the the Ipmc, pertaining to handrails and guards, which states that every handrail and guard shall be firmly fastened and capable of supporting normally imposed loads and shall be maintained in good condition. Clearly, that's not met since we do not have handrails and guards. I find a violation of section 34-96B of the City Code, which states that the owner of every single family or multiple family dwelling or his appointed agent or any occupant, operator, tenant, or anyone otherwise using the property in any form or manner shall be responsible for maintaining the exterior in a clean, sanitary, and safe condition, emphasis on safe condition. All parts thereof shall be maintained in good repair, shall be capable of performing the function for which such structure or any part or feature thereof was designed or intended to be used. I'm going to order that the respondent has until September 16th in which to correct the violations on the subject property. That the respondent shall install permanent railings on the upstairs deck area in accordance with the property maintenance standards of sections 304.1, 304.10, and 304.12 of the Ipmc. I'm ordering that the respondent apply for and obtain all applicable permits before installation and to schedule a final inspection with the city before the subject property shall be considered in compliance. However, if the respondent fails to correct the violation within the time period set, that is by September 16th, 2021, that a code enforcement officer shall schedule a compliance hearing before the special magistrate, and the city shall duly notify the respondent of such a hearing in accordance with law to give the respondent an opportunity to appear and present testimony and evidence as to whether the violation is continuing. And at that point, if that happens, I will make a final determination whether compliance has occurred, and if compliance has not occurred, I will impose a fine up to $250 per day that the subject property remains in violation beyond September 16, 2021. Here's that this property is not homestead, and so therefore any fines which may be imposed may become a lien in favor of the city on the subject property and upon any other real or personal property of the respondent or the probate estate. pursuant to Section 2-252E of the City Code and Florida Statutes 162.093. And also because this is non-homestead, it is also subject, property is subject to foreclosure pursuant to Section 162.093, in which case the city may obtain an award of its costs, including reasonable attorney's fees pursuant to Florida Statutes 162.10. And is there any other business for me to consider this evening? In that case, we will adjourn the hearing. Thank you very much.